Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Malik Ismail of House Zaydan. And in the last episode, you will recall that we reformed our religion. And after reading some comments and looking into the history of some of these faiths and things like that, I didn't do a huge deep dive, but I did look into some things based on a few of the comments that we got on that last video. And I decided that what we chose wasn't really actually fitting. And part of that was the fact that I expected the mechanics of things to work a little bit differently. So I've actually gone back and I've changed the way that our religion is set up. Everything else from that previous episode has essentially remained the same, but we've gone back and changed our religion a little bit. And I think this is a bit more fitting. And the main thing comes from the fact that we had originally changed it to have a spiritual head of faith. I'm not sure where that is, but anyways, we had chosen to have a spiritual head of faith. Now, the idea behind that was that Malik Ismail, who is a cynical man and doesn't really consider himself to be the greatest religious leader or like a religious figure really to much extent at all, it makes sense that he would really seek to put matters of faith to those who are specifically focused on that. So we went with that spiritual head of faith, but I thought that there would be kind of a unique Islamic variant of the spiritual head of faith, but it really works the same way that the temporal one does. And within the Muslim religions here in the game, they all kind of work the same, and that created that Caliph title, which traditionally is a hereditary title. It doesn't really make sense as a spiritual head of faith that kind of gets passed from person to person. And I think that was, that does make a lot of sense. And the fact that our character is a Sayyid, so descended from the Prophet himself, makes it pretty fitting. And really, I think the proper thing to have here is having this caliphate, or this the title here, the temporal title as the head of this Zaydani faith, should be a Zaydani. And thus we have gone back and we've changed that and made that a temporal position. So we are now the Caliph Ismail of the Zaydani Caliphate. I think that even though we don't get the bonuses from having the spiritual head of faith, I just think that this makes a little bit more sense and really is a bit more fitting. I did change one other thing. Everything else has remained the same. But instead of converting over from Almohadism, which gave us the holy site down here, that didn't really make sense. Our characters have really had nothing to do with this particular province here. Subu, obviously, because we built our capital around this. But switching over from Mualadi instead has given us the holy sites of Subu and Cortuba. And this is a lot more fitting because remember, Ismail grew up in the court of Cortuba. That is where he discovered his love of books, the libraries there, the temples there. That's where he discovered and learned all of these things. So for a man who is creating his own kind of faith and a faith based around essentially, this city and this place being a center of learning, well, the sister city, or the kind of, its opposition, or, however you would like to say it, is probably Cortuba. So it makes sense that those two cities would be kind of held in these pinnacles of esteem here in the Zaydani religion. So we've gone and changed that. So we only hold the one holy site, but Cortuba is the other one. And honestly, that gives us a reason to potentially try to take Cortuba with a future character. But yeah, that's all I've gone and changed. Like I said, I just kind of, some of the comments made me rethink some of the choices that we made. So I just went back and changed all that. But everything else has pretty much remained the same. So we are going to get time rolling here and see what comes for us. And there's a lot of different potentials here. Now, we have accomplished our main goal of the religion here. Hasti has been devastated ever since her husband Lub died. She comes to visit me one evening. I feel so lonely, she says, looking at me longingly. I remind myself that Lub was my good friend. You've been so comforting, she says, biting her lips suggestively. Lub was my friend. I just want to feel something, she whispers, loosening the fastenings on the front of her blouse. Lub was my friend. I'm sure that Lub would approve. Well, we are celibate, so yeah, no, obviously we're going to say, pull yourself together, Asti. My God, woman. Your husband just passed away not long ago. I think we would not look kindly upon her for that. But yeah. So we accomplished our goal of changing the religion. And at the end, we just did that feast, which has given us enough prestige now to accomplish the second of our three goals, the final goal being to build our great university. But the second of our goals was to reform the culture. And think about this as well. The Malik Ismail, or Caliph Ismail now in this case, he spent a lot of time in Cortuba among the court, but also among the regular people there, kind of adventuring out with the brothers of the House of Umayyad. And he learned a lot of things. And now he's spent, many, many years here. He's 59 years old. He came back here when he was in his mid-20s. So he spent 70 years here. His people have lived here a long time. And, he's built Fez into this great city. I think it's understandable that some of his Andalusian influences would start to spread into the people of this region here. And he's bringing in a lot of outsiders. So I think it makes sense that at this time we might convert or form a hybrid culture with the Baranis people who, we have ruled over for quite some time, but also have made, many inroads with. And you see cultural acceptance is actually pretty high. And, the great city of Fez that is developing is a city that is kind of having a strong influence from the Andalusian culture that is kind of being spearheaded here by ourselves. So we are going to form a hybrid culture. It is going to be the Moroccan culture. I actually don't mind this yellow color that we've actually got for it. I think we'll actually stick with that. But yeah, so what are we going to do for our hybrid culture? Well, I'm going to go and change all those things like I usually do, and I will show you what I've chosen after that. So here is our new culture, the Moroccan culture. And let's see what we have here. Well, we haven't changed anything on this screen. It's actually the same as you just saw. So we are choosing ceremonious. I think that makes more sense than spiritual. We are a cynical character. There's some nice bonuses from this actually, but we don't really need the faith creation and reformation cost. That would have been useful before. Control growth is nice, piety is nice, but we don't really need that. But ceremonious, prestige, title creation cost, house opinion, court grandeur bonus. The ceremony of court life is so integral to this culture that it forms a core part of people's social behavior, a place for everyone and everyone in their place. I think that's pretty fitting for our character. We've also chosen the Berber heritage. So the vast majority of our people are the Berber people. Our family partially hails from, I believe, our original culture. If I take a look to our parents, is Maghrebi. So, our people kind of came from this region before they came from Arabia a long time ago. But the majority of our people are Baranis people, and so the Berber heritage makes a lot of sense. However, people have been speaking the Arabic language more because that is the language of, the scholars of our people and the language of our court, the language that Ismail here, would speak himself. And just overall, it's probably the language of trade, of scholars, of priests, all that. So it is starting to make its way into the common people as well. It is very useful, even among the Baranis, Berber people, to speak the Arabic language because that is a very useful language to know. Martial custom, can't change that, men only. Here we have our traditions, and these are probably the most interesting ones. And you'll see that we've only picked 6 out of 7, and we are going to stick to that because, as somebody pointed out, it is cheaper to gain a new cultural tradition rather than simply switching one over. It's cheaper to get a new one than to switch them over. I didn't check this, so I'm trusting in that. But by only taking 6, we'll be able to get the new one a lot easier. So, and we'll be able to choose something that isn't in this small list, which is very good because we've got some good ones here, but they're not all super amazing. So what have we chosen? Well, we've taken mountain herding. We do have a fairly mountainous land, and this is probably going to be fairly useful to us in this region and potentially as we explore in other parts of the land here. We gain a special men-at-arms, which is cool. We get desert warriors and rough terrain experts, which is really good. Mountain danger goes down, desert mountain danger goes down, which is quite helpful actually in travel. And then development growth in desert mountains goes up 35%, which is quite nice. We don't have a ton of desert mountains around us, or we've got some, I think some of these must be desert mountains here. Indeed, they are. So there is some desert mountains in the region here, Subu and all along the Atlas here. So it is helpful to get that 35%. That's actually gonna stack up a little bit. We've chosen a family business here. I think this is pretty important for a character who has made a family such an important part of his life. So base of progress and skill impact on counselor tasks is increased by 10% for close family members. So having family members on your council is very good. Court position aptitude for close family members, plus 20. And lose prestige when revoking titles from close family. So having close family here, and let's see, what does this count as? So parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, siblings. That's quite a bit, and this is going to be extremely helpful here because we have a very close-knit family here that is going to play roles in our characters to come. Close family opinion plus 5. So this culture encourages businesses to develop along familial lines, each generation picking up the tools and techniques of their trade from the last, building a strong tradition of ancestral professionalism. The mountain herding one, in case you're curious of the description, this culture has made the cooler mountains their homes in an otherwise dry and arid region. The herders and farmers of these uplands have made for resilient and robust warriors, and over time their toil has made this people flourish far above the naked desert. Very good. We're also going to keep African tolerance, and that's partially because our characters are, he created a very tolerant religion, a much more pluralistic religion than some of the other ones in the region. And overall, he's a relatively tolerant character, and I think that would spread, when you are creating a place of scholarship, of learning, of bringing in new ideas, this would permeate through the culture as well. So yeah, keeping this African tolerance is good, though some would decry it as weakness. A realm founded on understanding and tolerance is a realm built on sturdy foundations. So rulers are less likely to demand conversion. We're probably still going to be demanding some conversion, but the different faith opinion and different faith popular opinion is going to be very helpful kind of in this stage right now as we're trying to, as our land is not very much converted. And if we ever expand to the north or south or to the east, this will end up being helpful to us. We've also kept expert artisans, characters of this culture, to produce higher quality artifacts, which is nice. And they produce higher quality artifacts when completing an artisan inspiration or a weaver inspiration. So that's pretty good. And also building construction costs goes down 5%, which is nice, saving us money. Children of this culture often carry on the profession of their parents. Actually, this fits with family business perfectly, accumulating extensive knowledge and skill for their trade across generations. Another quite good one there. We're also taking tabletop warriors. We haven't used this much, and I do regret that because honestly, the chess things are really cool. The chess things are pretty cool, but we just haven't thought about it. But it is nice. It does reduce your prowess, but increases your martial. I'm actually fine with that. And the army movement speed goes up 10%, which is quite nice. But the fact that you can just do the board games all the time is really good. And commanders are actually more likely to gain commander traits, which is actually quite nice. We haven't taken a malleable subjects, although this is a pretty good one. But I was torn between that and ritualized friendship. And let's face it, our character has had many, many friends throughout his life. He's lost some of them over time, but he's had a lot of friends in his life. It makes sense that, ritualized friendship would become something like a big part of this culture. So automatically has success to befriend scheme, which is or has access to it, which is awesome. May ask friends to become best friends, which is very useful. Best friends receive strong hooks on each other, but gain stress when using them. So that can be very helpful in certain circumstances. And best friends can use an interaction to gain bonus skills via modifiers at the expense of extra stress, which is also very good. Scheme power against friends goes up by 20, and scheme power against best friends goes up by plus 40. Blood may be thicker than water, but wine makes for better living. So ritualized friendship, there we go. So we have all of our things, and we're potentially going to get more very shortly here, but this is our hybrid Moroccan culture. And here we can see we're taking the Andalusian armor. Names come from both cultures. We're going with Berber style buildings. That makes sense. We're from in the North Africa region. Both fashion and both coat of arms. There we go. That is everything. And we'll also discover the war camels innovation, which is nice because it gives us camel breeders, camel riders, men at arms, and the camelier accolade, which is pretty good, or camelier. In any case, let us form this hybrid culture. Spurred on by positive relations and increased cultural exchange, the Baranis and Andalusian peoples have grown increasingly close over the years. Now, individuals from these societies have begun to view themselves not as one or the other, but as both simultaneously. A new Moroccan culture. Andalusian traditions and values form the backbone of this new culture, while various Baranis attributes have been adapted and integrated to meet the needs of their new society. With the Moroccan people now looking to me for guidance, it is time to set the stage for our shared future. To a new age, a new era, a new people. And oh wow, we actually got pretty lucky with that. I will say with how our culture has actually spread here. So we got quite a few provinces here have changed over. We'll still need to bring a few, and this makes perfect sense that it's the northern people, the ones who are exposed to Andalusian culture here, and along the coast, who would be the ones who would be acting more, have these Andalusian kind of elements to their culture. Whereas like deeper inland, the people are still mostly Baranis people. But I think that this is really fitting. Actually, this worked out really well, and I think looks quite good. So I think that if we go here to reform the Moroccan culture, we can add another one of these. And although we don't have the prestige for it, and we might not be able to get it within our lifetime, it's possible that our next character will be able to add one. And there are a lot of different options here. So this is going to be nice. This is going to allow us to convert one of these over here. And if you look here, you can see it's much more expensive to change one here than to create a new one. So yeah, we're going to look at these different options. There's a lot of different options, and we will see what we choose. I mean, dryland would be pretty good, actually. We might even look at that at some point here, because most of our lands are drylands. But we shall see. We don't have the prestige for it anyway, so there we go. We have accomplished 2 of our 3 main goals: changing the religion, Zaydani, changing the culture, Moroccan, and now we just need to build our university. Oh, and we can choose our fascination because we're the head of the culture. Or, yeah, exactly. So, hoardings, is that what we want to do? We're fascinated by the banking innovation. Here we go. Banking, is that actually what we want? Development growth plus 10%? Yeah, actually, we probably do want that. So, let's get banking here. I think that is a pretty fitting one. We can do a couple other things. We can station a men at arms, which is, we might as well do. Station you over here, and actually the bigger one we should probably station in the better place, and you are going to get stationed over here. There we go. And we will probably make some Abudrar and some camel riders, but we want to save up the money because our character is still alive. His health is still fine. So he might live long enough. He might live long enough to build the university. We just need to get this to 29. And we need to, and then we need to save up what? 1,750. It's not even that much. It's possible. If we can live enough years, we might be able to do it. We might be able to pull off all of our goals with this character, but we shall see. He is getting quite old. I've been studying the ancient religious texts and the writings of the scholars, and they all seem to agree that the world will end 6,000 years after its creation. By my calculations, we are less than a century away. However, my son, Alama Isa, urges me to keep it to myself. Leave it to the clergy and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Everyone deserves to know the truth. I shall consult with more imams. Yes, I think, or do we say a reasonable point? Isa, I think he does have a reasonable point, actually. Well, actually, everyone deserves to know the truth. No, I think Isam does make a reasonable point there. Oh, and we are known for our dedication to our faith. Look at that. We just hit religious icon. Pretty understandable considering we've created a religion based on our, essentially ourselves and our dynasty here. I will go and point out that we have changed up our council, and you'll notice that every one of our sons is on our council, and then the other one is our wife and our best friend. So this council is definitely fitting with that family business one we've taken. Our eldest son, Alama Issa, is our religious head, and probably scientific or scholarly head as well. Then we have Prince Christopher, our heir, who is our chancellor. Very fitting that he would be, starting to make connections with the neighboring lands. Look at Ghana. My God, chunky. I think they're overrepresented because of these big mountains and dense regions. But yeah, Ghana's getting big there. Same with Anbia as well. But yes, we have our son Prince Christopher there. We've also made Prince Kamran, who, as you will remember, is kind of building the cities of Fez. He is in position as our steward, which is pretty good. He is increasing development. And then finally, we have Nasir here as our spy master, so hopefully he will do a very good job of that as well. There's somebody who is making maps. Are we, is somebody trying to assassinate us again? I would not be surprised if it was the horrible Malik Jawar, or potentially our own wife, Amira Umara Tazalt bin Masanisa, House Fasanid. So, a friend till the end. As I lay upon my bed, prostrated by my sickness and cursing my weak, failing body, I can barely make out the human figure approaching. Their slow steps and heavy silence are starting to scare me. They must guess my unease from the faint sounds leaving my mouth and the jerky movements of my hands, for their steps turn hurried, and soon a warm hand is holding my own with a familiar face enters my view. Hush, Ismail, it's just me, Sina. This is our sister and our friend. Oh, how it pains me to see you like this. I wish I could do something, anything, to ease your discomfort. Please stay with me. We could get caring friend. Or we could say, I don't want you to see me like this. We are reclusive, but we are also somebody who really values our friends. Gregarious. We like to be around people. We're feeling kind of sad though. I think we're gonna go. Please stay with me. I think we do find comfort in this. Our gregarious nature kind of coming forward. Actually, no. You know what? The arrogant. Although we get a nice bonus from this because we get Caring Friend, which is a medium health boost for 2 years. I think the collection of it, reclusive, arrogant, melancholy. Yeah, I don't think we want them to see us like this. It's the bad option, but I think it's the more fitting option. So we're just going to speed up time here. We're going to let our money build up. There's a scheme at court. Somebody's planning to kill my daughter, Saada. Well, oh my God. She has 2 lovers, both of whom are our sheikhs here. She gets around Princess Saada does. Wow, that is... She cannot be controlled. That's for sure. Khalif Ismail. What is this? Burying the hatchet. Malik Jawar is coming to us. Khalif Ismail, we have had our differences in the past, but don't you agree that it's time to let bygones be bygones? My son-in-law Malik Jawar gestures from me to him. Whatever is between us, let us start anew. Wow. So our former best friend turned rival is coming to us, and he says, whatever is between us, let us start anew. You're groveling before me. Allah is good. Ooh. You know what? That seems like the more likely option, but I'm going to put this forward. Our character is we are a wise man, literally speaking here. We are a wise man, but we're cynical, arrogant. The question is, do we, I'm torn here. I wonder if in our wisdom, in our old age, we would say, you know what, let us put things aside. We are both old men. There is no need for this any longer. I am tired. I am very, very tired. Yes, let us end this. So we shall stop being rivals here. And that will put an end to a rivalry that has existed for a long time. Wow, look at this. Once the rivalry's over, he actually respects us greatly. And that makes sense. We were best friends at one point. Fought over a woman. And you know what? Now we have set aside our differences. And you know what? We might not like each other, but we respect each other. So that's something to be said. The two rulers. And, he's probably... That's interesting. That's very humble of him. Very interesting indeed. I like that, though. I feel like that's a good way to kind of bring some things and tie some loose ends in the story. The transmutation of lead to gold has long been the dream of alchemists across the world. Though many have attempted such a feat, nobody is known to have succeeded. Despite this, I have come across some notes written in the margins of a book about plants. They claim that one can create golden rain by boiling lead sugar in a filtered solution of seaweed ash. Could such a thing be possible? If nothing else, it is worth investigating. I might gain a lifestyle perk. These scribbles are clearly a nonsensical prank. Learning +1 or such. Pursuit of wealth is inherently impious. Well, that's not what we're going to pick. Is it worth investigating? I think it is. I think we're curious about this. The first reagent I need to obtain is lead sugar, an ingredient used to sweeten wines. I could find a supplier to import what I need, though it would be expensive. Alternatively, I can cheaply manufacture my own by burning metallic lead and dissolving the ashes in vinegar. We're doing science. Look at that. Ooh, we could spend our money. Let's say on second thought, no, let's spend the money. Let's see if we can make this great discovery here. Oh, our culture has discovered divine right. That is good, I think. Let's see, what is divine right here? Can press several claims in a war, unlocks Palantinate, feudal contract, zealot, vassals, or Moroccan piety, short reign duration, title creation. Gosh, ooh, that is nice. Got some nice ones from that. So we need seaweed, 100 drams, shredded and then dried. Where can I get such an amount? I will import it from various coastal towns. Wow, another 135. Demand a seaweed tax from my subjects. Yeah, I think we can demand our subjects bring us seaweed for our experiments. I don't see why not. At last, I have all the necessary reagents to produce the golden rain. The lead sugar is safely stored away in waterproof casks. The cords of dried seaweed are stacked in the furnace ready to burn. Will this be my magnum opus? Begin the experiment. You managed to create golden rain, wealth and glory are ours, or the formula does not work as expected. Oh, let's see what comes of this. After mixing the lead sugar into the solution, it suddenly turned a vibrant yellow. I had a moment of worry when the mixture became clear after boiling, but once it cooled back down, I saw small golden-colored crystals form in my flask. Upon examination, I can tell they are not true gold, as they are translucent. However, it is possible that this reaction is one of the fabled 12 vital processes needed to create gold. Am I one step closer to true transmutation? Oh, so we get our money back, We gain some prestige and a lifestyle perk, which is pretty good. We're going to go for sanctioned loopholes, which is not that useful. But hey, if we can get Scholar before we die, I think that that would just be very fitting for our character. A word of advice. It is not the first time I've heard of what a great servant Hedayat is now, and now Prince Abd al-Majid has sent him to my court. He presents himself as a token of friendship between Abd al-Majid and me. Welcome to my service. Oh, let's take a look at this guy. Ooh, Caravan Master. This guy's good, poet. Yeah, guy good. Could potentially be our new Caravan Master. Is he better than Abdul Rahman? Let's see. Excellent. Abdul Rahman is excellent as well, but we got this guy as a good backup anyways. Wow, this guy's really, really good as well. Oh no, wow. This Dukak Teklogu is so much better than the, look at that, 23, 21, 35, 36. Yeah, we're going to have to appoint somebody who's significantly better to this position. I think that that is the only fitting option here. Our daughter has been imprisoned. Princess Saada has been imprisoned by Prince Wasim. Oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to say. She probably, you know, well, you let her free, so she probably got lucky there. But yeah, I mean, she probably, you know, shouldn't have so many lovers, you know, when she's with her husband. I mean, that's, yeah, that's not good, but he did seem to have escaped there without without any severe punishment, so that is good to know. And here we go, we got that learning lifestyle perk. We're gonna become a scholar. We can finally call ourselves one of the greatest scholars in the world here. Learning +5, wow, look at that, 43 learning. What does that even give us? I have no idea. Just lots of piety, honestly. But it's, yeah, the scholarship one here. Development growth +15%. That is actually quite good. We're at 29. Can we do it? Can we live long enough to build the university? That's a good question. Wow, look at this. We've got 2 more slots here as well. Fez is growing to a great city. And look, our son is building buildings in all of his territories here, just like we were planning. Wow. And our wife has passed on. At least the memories remain. Wow. Or Amira al Umara Anastasia. That is sad. But she was our soulmate, our beloved wife. We're sad to see her pass. I imagine a grand funeral will be held for her. Oh wow, look at this boost of money here. Efficient taxes. How close are we to 26 out of 100? Monthly growth is 4.2. Is there any way we can boost that up? Children like guardians, really? I thought all of our children are quite old. Whose children are these? Oh, these are Saada's children. Yeah, her bastard children. Very well. I will raise them myself. Let's see. Is the other one? No, this is the, oh, from our other daughter. Very well. I will raise you. I will raise you as well. That seems most fitting here. We're gonna appoint somebody to the Bootier Guard. Let's do that quickly. Successor. Very well. These should be fine. And there we go. Forgetting, my friends Sharif and Lub threw me a surprise birthday party, I ask, confused. My son Nasir is looking at me concerned. Of course, you've told this story many, many times, don't you remember? Poor Nasir is... This is a nice moment with, well, not even bittersweet, just sad, really, of Nasir here with his father and realizing that we are losing our memory. Oh yes, my mistake, I say. You forgot a memory. Oh, I wonder, the memories of this character, does it actually erase one of these? I bet you it does. Isn't that, that's interesting. I did not even know that could happen in the game. And it doesn't really do anything, but it's a very cool little, it's a nice little touch. Oh yes, my mistake. Wow, so we lost the memory. We're beginning to forget. I wonder if at some point, you know, all these memories could start disappearing. That would be very interesting. I like that. I like that feature. These lands are just, there's a lot going on here. I've arrived in Fez to pay homage to you, glorious Amir al Umara, as a show of my loyalty. Show Allama Isa in at once. Serve me well, Isa, my son. Indeed, serve me well. Court Grandeur is now level 5. Nice. We might actually get this. We have the money. 43 out of 100. Can we last long enough? Our health is fine still. I mean, we are getting close. Will we be able to start funding the great university here? Missing 3 gold, and the development is not quite high enough yet, but it is so close. How many more months will this take? It's going up 4.2. We need about 40 more, so 10 more months. We might be able to make it. As I leap over the map in the council chamber, a sudden creak turns my head towards the door. My grandson Ismail appears in the hallway, walks into the room. He looks at me with inscrutably for a moment, then walks over and wraps me in a hug. I look at him, a tear hidden in my eye while I stroking his hair in an effort to reciprocate the gesture. Oh, wow. These things, oh, you're a good son? This is so sad. We think that this is our son, you know? I bet you we think that it is, I bet you we think that this is Nasir because of the dark hair. You know, we're losing our memory, and we think that this is Nasir, and we say, you're a good son, Nasir. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just a made-up character, but, you know, that's making me sad. But, yeah, poor Caliph Ismail. You know, that science experiment, his last and greatest achievement before his memories start to completely fade away. Maybe we burst into tears, it says. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty real, you know? Someone losing their memories like that. My nephew, Wali Georgios, has accused my daughter, Princess Saad, of having an extra... Oh my gosh, is this a third one? Allah will judge these sinners. Jeez. Just with everyone. Anyone she can get her hands on. My grandson, Hakam, has been invited to a gathering of peers by Sheikh Tariq. He is packed and ready and clearly excited to leave for Dania. Sheikh... Oh yeah, okay. I'm fine with that. You can head over here to Dania here. Very well. That powerful Balancia land, I think, did split up a little bit as well. Oh no, it's still going strong here. Emir the Short. Caliph Ismail, we've had our differences, but don't you agree it's time to let bygones? You know, we did love our wife Tazalt at one point. She was our very first wife, even. We had this rivalry, but now, yeah, let's stop being rivals as well. There we go, look at that. No more rivals. We have made peace with the people in our life here as we get to these final years. Ooh, do we try a game of chess? Despite the fact that we are, you know, slowly losing things? Well, let's see. I know the rules of chess like the back of my hand. Let us do so. I'm playing against Taoud here, Prince Taoud of Navarra. Yes, just as planned. I'm picking randomly here because our character is, you know, starting to lose his sense of memory and things like that. And then we're gonna go with the top one. And finally, I am unparalleled in the theory of chess. He seems to be countering our every move, but we end up winning. So, you know, perhaps there is a little bit in our head left here. So there we go. We win the game. We lose some stress, which is nice. There we are. Oh, we can found a holy order. Oh, but do we have enough? 29. How close are we here? How close are we? 78. No, we got to save the money. We need... Oh, Jawar has died. Look at that. Jawar has died. Oh, and he had a second son. just in the last year of his life, a second son through our daughter as well. So the Malik of Al Andalus and his younger brother, Prince Jarir, are both going to be the nephews of our future ruler, Prince Christopher here. So that's going to lead to some interesting times between Al Andalus and Zaydan here. So, yeah, very interesting how things have all played out. Are we going to live long enough here to construct the university, to get it started? We are so close, so close. 86, not much longer now, just a few more months need to pass. We are building up that money here. We have everything that we need. The development progresses, quite swiftly here. 95. I think just what, 2 more months and we get another learning lifestyle perk? Well, what do we do here? Maybe we go for mental resilience here, trying to hold the last bits of our memory together in these final years of life. Our family is with us and has been guiding us. Our son's on the council, and our best friend here, who is quite old himself. But all of these people supporting us in this great kingdom that we've built here, even as our mind slowly begins to fade. To my surprise, Prince Jawar has corresponded with my counselors to arrange it for a day myself. What are these events? These events are just here to make us cry, honestly, to take off some of the pressure I've been under. In the end, I spent it following a suggestion from Jawar himself, riding with a military patrol, taking charge of the order of my realm directly. Wow. That is so interesting that our council and our people around us are, coming in to support us and do what needs to be done here and giving us time to do what we want. So we get to go out for a ride. We get to see our soldiers and, show them their Caliph. Wow. The events here are just so fitting with how things have all been playing out. And there we go. Wow. Look at that. 30 development. Fez has really grown. I think it started at 16 and now it is 30. We've more than doubled the development. It has become probably definitely one of the greatest cities here. Let's take a look at development. Yeah, look at Fez. It's really sticking out here. Titawan is actually, or what is this here? Sabta here is actually quite developed as well, but Fez here is now kind of coming out as the greatest city in this region. You can see, it's definitely the greatest city in North Africa, I would say. You have to get all the way to Egypt before you get anything comparable. So he has done what he accomplished or wanted to accomplish in creating the greatest city of this land, and he can finally do that by initiating the construction of this great university, a place of learning that will live on long past himself here. Let us look at what we get from that. Reduced cost for holding a grand tournament. Board game and recital contest in this holding minus 50%. Increased quality of book sponsored inspirations. And you can send people to university. Not only that, but development growth plus 10%, plus 0.1 as well. Learning per level of fame. Renown plus 0.25. Monthly learning lifestyle experience. Oh no, monthly lifestyle experience in general. Very nice. And cultural fascination progress. Such amazing bonuses that we get from this. And now that university is under construction to create this great city. And we have really accomplished all of the goals that we truly wanted to with this character. And I think that this is a good way to kind of bring Ismail's, goals in life to a close. And now we can just kind of enjoy this last time that he has here with Prince Jawar, who is, our vassal, but has been trying to make inroads with us indeed. And perhaps he has. While his numerous attempts to curry my favor have not gone unnoticed, but we're somewhat irritated by him. His obsessive desire to impress me has made blundering displays of fabricated. So yeah, he's faking it a little bit. But he still has a certain charm, we might think. Why can he not leave me in peace? Does he have a certain charm? He kind of does. Ah, you know what? Let's say he does have a certain charm. We can get along with. Oh, and now our sister has passed away. There's only two of us left, two siblings. My sister Majida bint Abi Salom is 58 years old, and let's see, and our youngest brother Wali Abdullah. Lub has been invited to a gathering. Very well. Yeah, we'll simply let time pass here and see what comes for our character now in these final years of his life, and if anything interesting comes about. So we actually got an interesting event here. My daughter Shakira's talent with the brush grows with each passing year. You will remember that we actually encouraged her painting when she was just a child. Thank you for believing in me, Father. We're getting such good events with our family members. This is like perfect for the story that we've been building here. Perhaps you are interested in being my benefactor once more. Shakira Zaydan gains 40 opinion and she wants to forge a crown. Oh, I don't think we have a crown, do we? We do not. Let's get ourselves a crown. Our daughter will make us a crown. Metalsmith inspiration funded. Yeah, let's see if we can get her like a really good crown out of this. I wonder how good she is at her job here. In any case, let's speed time back up once more. Inspiration, a name to remember. My daughter Shakira approaches me. Is there anyone special to you, my lord? To my beloved Shakira, only in memory of Nasib? Nasib Aglabid? No, I don't. Just like one of her great-grandchildren or something. Only God guides me. There's no need for a dedication. Let's see. I think that there is no need. No, you know what? Let's dedicate it to the god. I think even as a cynical man would have that much. The university's done already? I'm up for a stroll around the market. The merchant calls me over, insisting he has something that will pique my interest. The scent of drying herbs and foreign tinctures overwhelms my senses as I approach the stall. He is rifling through his collection of dusty tombs and other treasures. After some digging, the merchant produces an old book and insists I need it for what is to come. Fine, I'll bite. Let's, perhaps we can come to an arrangement and we negotiate a better price. Excellent. Bibliomancy. As I am putting away my newly acquired Iken's Quran, a slip of parchment falls out. Upon it are instructions for a practice called bibliomancy, where one might divine their fortune from a passage in a book. All I need to do is open this text to a random spot and read the first fateful verse that my eyes might fall upon. Yeah, let's do it. I follow the instructions to the letter and select a passage at random from the text before me. Shivering with anticipation, I open my eyes and read, Fear is the mind killer. A coward dies 1,000 tiny deaths, yet a valiant man dies but once. What am I to make of this? Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. Fascinating. This will require further research. Indeed, we're becoming obsessed with this idea. I've finally cracked the mysterious passage from Iken's Quran and feel much wiser for it. Thanks to the merchant, the threads of fate suddenly appear more clearly before me. Fear may well be the mind killer, but I have faced my fear. Without fear, I die but once. Indeed, that is so. Healthy? I don't even know if we want to take this. I don't know if we want our character to like live that much longer. Religious, you know what? This could be useful actually. Zealous proselytizer. That's actually useful because we do want to. We do want to convert these places over, and it's going to take quite some time indeed. So the university is done. Wow. Finally, we have built this university, possibly named, you know, the University of Ismail or something like that. The Ismaili University, something along those lines. But yeah, with that, we can even potentially build a duchy building here as well, and really, you know, develop Fez to a strong extent here. Oh, we need the McNessid title here. Let us usurp that because we can. So there we go. So now we'll be able to build that building. My wounded vassal, Prince Jawar, is severely injured. Oh, that's unfortunate. You know what? Let's continue to build here in these last years. Oh wow, just so much stuff is going on here. I was gonna, you know, get some donations from our children here. Like Kamran, you know, you can give us some money to build this place. we're getting donations for the funding of Fez here. Demand payment here, and yeah, let's call in all of these donations as we can. There we go. Now we've got plenty of money. We take a little bit of a stress hit. That's fine. The young mediator. There was a commotion among the children. Hakam intervened and managed to stop the fight. Good job, Hakam. He keeps the trait calm. And then what was the final one? My last chance. Yeftan has decided that his time in Fez has come to an end. Servants have packed his chests. He goes with the claim to the Wilaya of Agadir. No, I wish your journey to be safe. We have no interest in that this late in life. So yeah, we have the money now. Oh, we got another perk, religious icon. Very well, might as well take it anyways. And here we can probably now build this. And I would like to get the royal reserves. And that's because it gives us this nice bonus to money and development growth and popular opinion. There's better ones for, you know, a lot of military type stuff, but we're not a military character, let's face it. And we have done some hunting. I'm torn between that and leisure palaces, but the development growth and the money here and popular opinion is going to be much more helpful for us overall. And, you know, it gives us potential for some good hunts. And I would like to do hunts with our next character more as well. You know, so it'll be nice that we'll be able to potentially have some successful hunts when we're playing as the debonair Prince Christopher. I can imagine that he is somebody who would appreciate such things. Mujahid, a man both driven and wise, greets me graciously. I've heard of your new university, Al-Amir Al-Umara, that favors knowledge to that extent. I would be honored to serve you. Very well. You may come to our courts. You will certainly find a place here. Loyal. A Zaydani Moroccan man. Yeah, he's a good man here. What of you? Tumbling down. As I try to do most days, I begin my morning by drinking in the sights and sounds of the world beyond my bedroom window. How vibrant it all is out there. How full of light and life. How very perfect creation seems to be. Oh, for just a little more of a bird's eye view. Just a little more. And we slip. Fall. Grab for the window frame. Do we manage to hold on? We do not. And so we tumble there. Perhaps, you know, our becoming dizzy as we stood there and just slipping and falling, or were we pushed? Who knows? Caliph Ismail of the Zaydani Caliphate has left this world at 64 years of age. He fell from the window of his bedchamber to his death. A keen and dedicated hunter, he loved to spend entire weeks in the wilderness looking for the most elusive game. He was also, even more than that, a dedicated scholar, a lover of learning and the world. And now Caliph Christopher ascends to the throne. Beautiful beyond words, his appearance will have foreign dignitaries groveling at his feet. Indeed, they no doubt shall, as we take over as Caliph Christopher ibn Ismail Zaydan. My sister asked for a word amidst the tumult of the succession. My lord, before his passing, Caliph Ismail commissioned my work. I was in the middle of forging a crown for him. The work has already begun, and it would be a shame not to complete it. No, the work will continue. We will continue this here. As we now kind of slow time down and look to our new character here, Caliph Christopher ibn Ismail Zaydan. Just, brave, ambitious. He is a charismatic negotiator, beautiful man, brave, a brave adventurer, you know, very high diplomacy. His stats are all pretty good except for his intrigue. And he already has 4 daughters. Wow, 4 daughters. And that is, let's take a look. So he's got, let's see, 3 wives here, all of whom are probably fairly obsessed with him. Zilgum. We also have Al-Umara, and then finally, or I should say, Zainab here, and then finally Halima. So all of our wives here have given us a daughter, I believe. Actually, do we have any? Yeah, we do. So there we go. Daughters from all of them. Let's take a little look here. Sickly, quite beautiful. Beautiful and hale, not so bad. And good looking as well. So those genes being passed on here to our character. What shall Caliph Christopher's goals be for the future? What is a character like this going to be looking for? Is he going to expand the lands of Zaydan? I wouldn't be surprised. He is ambitious after all. He's got some claims as well. And he is the uncle of the new Malik of the Umayyads. So that puts him in an interesting position of influence over the new Malik, who's only 16 years of age. Not really come into his own yet. So it will be interesting to see how all of this plays out in the future. But we will have to discover that in the next season, if indeed there is a next season. You'll have to keep an eye out for that. If you've enjoyed this season so far, I would definitely, oh my gosh, I just saw how much money he has. How does he have so much money? That is absolutely ridiculous. But in any case, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But until the next episode, Wanderers, whatever that may be, I will see you in the next one.